Welcome back to the Public Pool Podcast. My name is Michaela Pascal. Your name is Jack O'Shea.
And you're listening to the podcast.
And you know, we know each other. So
yes,
that's nice.
Welcome back to the pool.
Welcome back to the pool. It's the week kind of for us now.
Yeah. What do you mean, Super Bowl?
Yeah, it's a big sports week.
It is so fun. I know everybody's done the bit before, but it's like the whole like you can't say Super Bowl thing.
It's so funny.
It's so stupid. We just did a thing where like we couldn't say Super Bowl, and it's like I just wonder if we actually can. Like I feel like all the time when we used to work at our old company, people would come up to me and be like, "My contract says I can't do this," and I'd be like, I'd read the contract, and be like, "Well, you can." That's ridiculous.
I don't know. It just feels like one of those things where it's like everyone says the big game, so I just rather keep it that way.
I feel like the NFL needs to come out and just be like, "We never said you couldn't."
No, they definitely do. They pull down ads.
But is it the type of thing like you've seen the ad that's pulled down?
Because that's why all the Super Bowl ads, they have to be flagged as the big game.
See, the thing, like, to me, I feel like this is all like secondhand stories. Like when my dad told me that there was a kid in his neighborhood who got coal from Santa Claus, where it's like, did they do that? Or it seems like such a like.
I promise you they did.
Okay.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, they're actually really annoying because the NFL is the one that's like, they won't let you use anything.
But they do now.
Do they?
Yeah. So it used to be, here's a fun non-sports gossip thing. It used to be that all the sports leagues where they say, without the express written consent of Major League Baseball, like where apparently they have to write you a letter expressly.
Yeah.
Speedily, they have to write you a letter being like, it's fine. I have it on from their, this is from, they put the postage stamp and everything in there. But it used to be that you couldn't do that. Like you couldn't for anything. And then the NBA blew up kind of when everybody started just posting like NBA highlights and whatnot.
Yeah.
And all the other leagues were like, well, why is the NBA getting so much power? It's like, because on Twitter.
You're allowed to talk about it on Twitter, essentially.
Here's LeBron dunking. You can't see Mike Trout's home run or Tom Brady's touchdown or whatever. Not that the football needs anything. But now you can post whatever you want. You can repost like clips from games. They don't care anymore.
Yeah, no, that's good. At least because that was just really dumb of them before. It's like just let people share it.
Yeah,
like, I don't know. It's weird.
We should get into the trademark game.
I know.
Just be those people who suck. Where it's like actually, you can't say pool. So lots happened this week. I feel like every day just a new bombshell, like new 4 bombshells drop. Do you remember the tariff thing?
Yeah.
That was years ago.
It feels like it was years ago.
The one thing I got out of it, and the second it happened, I was like, okay, well, we got to talk about this. I forget the whole, the tariff stuff. They keep on being like, well, you know, Justin Trudeau and the Mexican president, Claudia Sheinbaum. What? In what world is the Mexican president? It's like if the German president's name, their German prime minister, whatever they have there, chancellor, I think. Maybe that was Hitler. Hitler might have been chancellor.
I don't know.
He was the Führer. Anyway, it's like if the German president or whatever was like, Jose Rodriguez, German leader.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Claudia Sheinbaum. Like, it's the most like, that's a girl from Brooklyn.
Yeah. You know, it's been a very big news week. It's just been one of those.
Like, if
honestly, I don't even want to.
No. No, I just wanted to bring up Claudia Sheinbaum.
Yeah, I know.
I know. Well, there's just so much like, we're just really back in 2016.
I know.
Where it's just like, what to believe.
I know. Yeah, everything is so back and forth. I don't know.
Yeah.
I kind of out-newsed myself yesterday. I kind of like had to turn it off. I was like, because I've had it on nonstop because you were gone for a couple days. So like I was alone and I literally just didn't stop watching the news. Yeah. And so now I'm like, I'm fully aware of everything. I know what every channel's saying. And now I'm like, I'm kind of sick to my stomach about everything. I'm like,
by the way, so I was gone. So I was in Disney World, on Disney World. Actually, that's one thing too, where we, everybody keeps being like, oh, let's go to the safari ride. And it's like, we're going on safari. That's one of the few, like, I will correct you if you're like, yeah, we were at the safari. No, we were on safari. For some reason,
is that how you say it? You're on safari?
You're on safari. I think it's like you're saying like you're on sabbatical. I don't know why on is used in those things as if like it's some sort of vehicle or place, but you're on it. You're on vacation.
Okay.
Why are you on vacation in Mexico?
Yeah. I don't know.
Here's the fun wordplay you only get from the Public Pool podcast.
I know. So exciting.
You know, a little bit of autism.
But yeah, you were at Disney World for a couple days.
Yeah.
I was homeworking.
You were homeworking. But meanwhile,
I was like, meanwhile, my husband.
Meanwhile,
like Disney World.
Without kids, with my family.
Not a single minor in sight.
No, not a single one. And the best part too is my youngest sibling, who just turned 21, probably could pass for 31.
Easily.
Oh, there was a great moment too where we were at dinner or lunch or whatever, and we all ordered drinks. And the waitress did the nicest thing ever to me, which is she went around, she's like, asked my brother Henry, like, let me see your ID. All my brothers, let me see your ID. My sister. She didn't ask me for mine. And I was like, thank you. Let's
not pretend.
Can we stop pretending that there's a chance I'm under 21? I'm not under 21. This is an awkward, like, then I have to do thank you. Like, I'm not even close.
You have looked 30 since you were like 15.
Yeah. And now I look 46. Like, you don't have to pretend. Although there was a fun instance though too, where two of my cousins are twins and one of them didn't have their ID. We were sitting at different tables. And so the one who didn't have, she didn't have her ID, to qualify it, said, my twin brother is that
there.
One. And then they asked him like she was like, hey, Michael, who's your twin? And he was like, what? Like,
oh God.
And he said, Donna?
Yeah.
He's like, okay, cool. So, okay. Yep, you're good. It passes. Like,
it works. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I feel like it works better with like identical twins, just because it's like, well, obviously we're the same person. Obviously we were born on the same day.
I love identical twins.
I do too. I could talk about twins and I've been obsessed with this like triplet TikToker recently, like where she has like 3 identical triplet boys.
I mean,
and she's really not that like big yet. Like she gets
would they know they're identical before they're born?
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, I mean, I guess of course you could.
Cause it depends on whether 2 like eggs are implanted or if it splits.
So that basically, so I know that like 1 egg splits, right? For identical twins.
Yeah.
So 1 egg splits and then another egg also splits?
It splits 3 times, I guess. Yeah.
So you'd have to go, you start from 1 and then get 2. And then one of the 2 that has split has to split once more.
Yeah. Or is it like a 3 at once?
I don't know. Cause
twins fascinate me.
They're fascinating.
Honestly, if you're a twin, like stay away from me.
Why?
Because the second you tell me you're a twin, I have 10,000 questions. That's when I turn into like a boomer white lady where I'm like, I'm going to ask you some questions that probably aren't kosher. Like,
I love twins who are indifferent about each other.
Yeah.
Like you're either best friends or you're like, we fucking hate each other.
Yeah.
I like the twins where it's sort of like, I mean, they're my sibling.
Yeah.
And we have the same birthday, but besides that, we're our own people.
I know. While you were gone, I basically the whole time was just on a mission to catch our neighbor in action. I've never seen our next door neighbor, one of our next door neighbors. I've never seen them. You claim to have seen them once.
I've seen them many times.
I don't believe you.
To be fair, I'm like weirdly the mayor of our neighborhood.
Kind of.
Because I walk the dogs at the same time every day and we have a very friendly neighborhood and I'll walk throughout. So it's like, I don't know anybody's names, but I have honestly conversational relationships with a lot of our neighbors.
I guess.
I'm like, hey, how you doing today?
But like with our neighbor, I'm like, I swear they're witness protection. Like that's what I keep being like,
Or spies.
Or spies. They only leave in and out through the garage. Like they park in the garage. And so I never see them get in or out of their car. Their Christmas lights popped up overnight. Didn't see them putting them up. It was literally overnight because one day during the evening, they were not there. And then the following morning, they were there. They like did them in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? They still haven't taken them down yet. So I'm like, interesting.
Well, I haven't seen them in like 2 months.
I have not seen them.
Yeah.
Like I'm so confused. And then yesterday, I thought I saw a lady walking up the driveway because the car was there. And I was like, oh my God, yes. Like I was getting the mail and so I started like speed walking over. I was like, I'm going to catch this neighbor. I need to see what they look like.
Yeah.
And then I was like, no, it was an Instacart person. They were leaving a bag of dog food at the door. That was it. Yeah. And I was like, I didn't even know they had a dog. Like, and then the other day while you were gone.
I did not know they had a dog either. That dog would have barked.
Yeah. I never hear the dog. And also, most weeks, because now I've been nosy and I keep looking, their trash cans are never out on the curb.
Yeah.
And so this week too, when I was like, I'm taking out the trash cans, I was looking, nope, their trash cans were not out this week. And I'm like, do you guys not have trash? I'm confused. Yeah. And then when I was bringing in the trash cans, I swear to God, their door opened and then shut really quick. And I was like they saw me walking up the driveway and I was like, they're in witness protection. They have to be like.
Okay, really quickly, remind me because I have a ghost story.
Okay.
But really quickly too. So you know the movie Disturbia? Or like Rear Window, which it's or Rear View Window, whatever that it's based off of. Any movie where it's like a neighbor, if somebody's at home, they're looking at their window, they think they see a crime, and they call the cops. And then there's always that scene, and this is the reason why I'm like, this always happens is because they've made this story 9 million times. What happens if you see something but you can't do anything and nobody believes you? They call the cops go over, they knock on the door, you see the evil person you saw committing the crime.
Yeah.
And then the evil person lets them in. And the crime scene that you just saw, you now see is completely spotless.
Yeah.
And then the cop leaves and they're like, okay, sorry about this. The guy must be crazy. And then when the cop, after the cop leaves, the evil neighbor like looks up at you and you're like, oh shit. So this all is making me think I'm kind of on the neighbor's side a lot because I wonder how often that happens by people being like kind of building these stories of like maybe they're a this, getting a phone call and the cop being like, it's another fucking window looker who's like their imagination's running wild and we're not going to arrest you.
Well, I don't think they're criminals. I just think they're in witness protection, if anything.
True.
Because they're just so low key. We've lived here for almost a year and I've never seen them. Our direct next door neighbors.
I think there are a few criminal neighbors I think of.
Oh yeah, definitely.
There's a couple that kind of like hang out a little bit too publicly where I'm like, that kind of seems like if somebody wanted to swing by to grab a bag of something.
Yeah.
Real convenient.
That's why some punk ass kids doing stuff in our neighborhood.
Yeah, but those kids are awesome.
They are really awesome.
Every kid in our neighborhood has a dirt bike. We live in that area.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, God, none of them wear helmets, which by the way, I'm sorry, is even kind of cooler.
No, it's not.
It's not cool, but it also at the same time too, I'm like, that's pretty fucking badass.
It's
like
not.
You guys just don't even care.
No, I will never ever promote no helmet having.
Our kids will wear helmets. I'm just saying when I see 2 dirt bikes go by, one kid's wearing a helmet, one kid isn't. I'm like, the kid who isn't wearing a helmet is probably fucking a little bit cooler.
No, I think that kid's probably a little bit more of a little shit.
Well, yeah, but when you're a little kid, that's kind of the same thing. Like, yeah, I'll go do this crazy thing. But ghost story. When I was in Disney, I turned off the TV. Like it was really weird. And I was just like, this is the definition for me. Be like, okay. Mm-hmm. Turn off the TV. I woke up in the middle of the night. And when I looked up, the TV was back on. And it turned off like immediately after I looked up. You
didn't tell me this.
Yeah, because I didn't want to have a whole conversation about it until now. And even this, I'm going to be like, we got 2 minutes for this. I'm sure there's a reasoning.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was just a ghost. I'm sure it was a Disney World ghost.
Maybe it was a ghost who wanted to watch. Dude, so we stayed in this Animal Kingdom lodge.
Yeah. Which I'm so jealous about.
Really cool. There were animals outside, like giraffes and wildebeest that literally you just look at your window and there's just wildebeest like chilling right there.
Yeah.
We didn't really like appreciate it enough. Like you saw it for the first day and then the next day it's like, yeah, there's the fucking wildebeest. Like it's a squirrel. It's like, it's a goddamn wildebeest.
Yeah.
But so one of the things that they had was when you turn on the TV, you know how they'll kind of like play like on the menu, like music underscored? Fucking just like African drum circle.
Yeah. And
I was sick of it 12 seconds in. Like.
You weren't feeling safari?
I was not. I don't understand. I don't get it. I just don't get the whole, like the hype up of an African drum circle. It better be good drums.
I think they are usually pretty good drums.
Not this clip that they played. Again, it's just kind of.
I think they probably were going for just more background music vibes.
They were, and I didn't appreciate it. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It is really funny though too how it's just like Animal Kingdom. It's just Africa.
Yeah.
There are animals everywhere.
I know. It's because Africa's like, they've got all the cool animals.
They do. Except like South America and Asia, like don't sleep on it.
No, definitely not. But like
the sun bear from Asia, that's fun.
But like Asia has like, they also have elephants, but it's like, so does Africa.
Yeah, that's true. Africa's
like,
got, yeah.
They got the works there. They got the giraffes, the zebras, the lions,
the hippos,
the
the rhino,
yeah,
the white rhino. It's the rhino that doesn't get pulled over by the cops as often.
Yeah. Got the cheetahs.
Cheetahs are so cool.
So cool.
They're fat. Can you imagine just being able to be like, oh yeah, I can go 0 to 60 in 2 seconds.
I know.
And then
Tesla drivers are like, yeah.
Oh, imagine I do it every day on my way to work. Well, you don't have to.
Can I just say, every time we're in an Uber and it's a Tesla, I get sick in 2 seconds.
Yeah, because you're on like a roller coaster.
Because they're always like, oh, let me just go. And it's like, how about you go the speed limit? How about you don't have to show me how fast you can accelerate?
I don't really care how
You're
fast
going to hit a kid.
You're going to hit a kid.
You shouldn't actually be able to accelerate from 0 to 60 that fast. It's pretty dangerous.
It does.
It's like when you're at a red light and it turns green and you're in the front of the line. I always wait 1 second because if there's another car that's going to pass, it's like you don't want to be able to accelerate that quickly in the middle of the intersection.
Yeah.
If someone else is running red, give it a sec.
I can't believe there aren't more accidents where it's like, oh, what happened? Well,
I know.
This one Tesla driver took his foot off the brake and it just went. It just went 100, even though the speed limit's 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, why do cars go up to like 120? When would you use this?
For no reason. There's no, I've asked people this before. There's absolutely no reason. And I feel lame. I'm the guy who just said helmets weren't cool, but I feel lame because it's like, but no, there's no, like, okay, if the top speed limit in the country is 70, I feel like 90 should be the peak of what cars go.
Yeah, I agree.
And then get special cars if you're like
a race car driver.
Yeah.
That's what, yeah. You then get a special car.
Like, it's kind of crazy to me. I mean, I feel this is not my energy, but it is kind of crazy to me whenever they're like, oh, the criminal outran the cop car. And it's like, shouldn't the cop car be able to go faster than any car? Those guys should be able to
go faster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should be able to catch you.
Yeah.
Like, it should, immediately we're done with car chases. The car chase problem is over because people are just like, well, I'm not going to be able to run them. They have a cop car.
Yeah. Every now and then you see like a Challenger cop car and it's like, oh yeah. But it's like, how often are those guys in the chases? Like never.
No, because they run out of gas in 2 minutes.
I know. Man, I love a police chase though. Like when it's on the news, it's like, I don't know who I'm rooting for.
Every now, I've yet to see one where they get away, but it happens, I think, more than you think.
No, it definitely happens.
Sometimes they just get away.
Yeah.
Just bail the car. Hopefully they stole it. I don't know why I'm rooting for the criminal in this situation.
I am too though. Usually. Depends what they did.
Well, you always root for the prey.
I think so, yeah.
And even though the person might literally be a predator, in this instance, swap their prey. And you kind of root for the underdog.
Yeah.
You root for the one to get away. It's why, like, naturally, when you're watching a football game or a sport, you're rooting for the offense. Mm-hmm. So, or I guess in football especially, where it's like, yeah, get away from the guys trying to attack. That's what you're rooting for. Unless you're rooting for one of the teams. Yeah. You want to see people escape.
But yeah, it's a big sports week.
Damn right.
The Super Bowl. And it's kind of like weird in a way where I'm like, okay, obviously, thank God with sports gossip, it's like there are several other sports, but it's kind of weird we're going to start transitioning out of football now.
I'm looking forward to it.
I kind of am too.
Because football's probably, if people asked me what my favorite sport is, I say baseball because somebody has to. Yeah. But I watch football more vehemently and vigorously, and I really love football.
There's too many games for baseball.
So really
it's like you can't really sit there and watch every one.
Like it's gonna be kind of tough. There'll always be gossip, but like it's just tough compared to football where it's like, hey, this week everything changed and next week it'll change again. Yeah. Baseball fucking just it really doesn't matter until August. No. Like it just like basically up until, and then all baseball fans will be like, what? But no, it's true. From freaking April to the end of July, it could have been an email. Yeah. You know, like you could have just been like, this team's doing well and this team's not. Yeah. But it doesn't matter.
I know our first dates were at baseball games. That was fun.
Yeah. We went to the NLDS. I took you to 2 playoff games. Yeah. And then only a short while later, I found out that you didn't know that when the ball hits the ground, the play isn't over. And by a short while, I mean like years later. So you just had no idea what was happening.
I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening ever.
It's a complicated, you know what?
I know what's happening in soccer, hockey, basketball, because it's pretty straightforward.
I was going to say, those are the most straightforward, like
And that's how games should be to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why it's fun. Because it's like these people are just reacting. They're going with it.
God, yeah.
You got some small Europeans. You have some really tall, and I was going to say Americans, but now it seems like basketball is being taken over by the freaking Europeans.
Yeah, it's hilarious. We'll talk about it because we're going to talk about a big trade that happened during Sports Gossip. We were watching, though, this past week when I was in Disney, we watched some WWE. So I love the WWE. I love the idea of it.
I do too.
I love the concept. I used to watch it. I don't really anymore, but I love the concept.
Yeah.
It's soap opera, but for boys.
It's a drag show.
Yes. Well, let's talk about how incredibly gay the WWE is, actually.
Oh, incredibly.
There was
positive connotation.
So if you follow WWE, you'll know who I'm talking about. I don't remember their names, but there was like this was last Thursday. It was like 4-on-4. The two of the groups that were together were two, I think they were Australians. They looked like Siegfried and Roy. Gay icons. They were wearing like sparkly red yoga pants and then matching like a long sleeve shirt, except the actual torso part stopped just before the nipples. So nipples were out.
Yeah.
So just kind of sleeves that also have a neck hole.
Yeah.
And they came out like real confident. Everybody's like, whoa. And I just, that alone, I was like, why are people like, oh no? Like, well, then so somehow their partners were even gayer. They were like their theme was like motorcycle guys, like biker gang.
Flamboyant motorcyclists.
So this is what they wore. They wore the classic wrestlers, like tighty whitey, but like spandex.
The Speedo.
The Speedo. They were wearing the Speedo that were gray with some glitter, but like in a tough way.
Yeah.
You know, some tough glitter. And like shirtless, but with leather jackets. And I was like, this is literally like a leather bar. Like they were like, if they're going for, and then one of them too, like, I swear to God, I've seen him in pride parades where he's sort of like so what's the type of gay guy? I love all the names for gay people.
I know. And it's kind of, I almost feel like I'm like behind on it because I feel like it's always evolving and changing on what.
If I was gay, called. I would just kind of constantly throwing out new terms and let people
make it for you. Like
just assume, like
toss out a word and they're like, oh yeah, I've heard of that before.
Oh yeah, that guy's a water bottle gay.
Yeah.
And let people be like, okay, I'm not going to ask questions because I'm in there now. We all know what those are. Water bottle gays. And then every time they see someone like them, they're like, classic water bottle gay. And that's how it becomes vernacular.
Yeah.
But the guy, like the main guy who I really liked, and honestly I might follow wrestling because I want to follow this guy, he's awesome, is just like, he's kind of lean, just shredded, but like, definitely a little juiced, with bald, but a long gray manicured beard.
Okay.
So he's kind of got I feel like in every pride parade, there's like that guy where it's sort of, he's in his 50s, he's on some testosterone, he's still freaking crushing it. And by the way, he has like a really good job.
Yeah.
By the way,
that's Mark. He like runs the accounting firm like a ship.
Oh, he's high up.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have kids, so he does well. He vacations a lot.
Oh yeah.
Everyone's jealous. Like, where is he going this weekend?
Where is he going now?
Yeah.
Have you seen his Insta post?
Like,
jealous.
And his partner is like identical to him.
Yeah.
Again, my favorite gays.
The ones who look like siblings.
I love twin gays where it's like, because I kind of feel like I would be like that too.
You think so?
Well, it's like, if that's what I think looks good, I'm going to try to make myself look like that.
Yeah, that's true.
Of course.
Yeah. It's all the pageantry.
And they lost to the Samoans. That's the other type of wrestler right now.
Yes, you have, that's pretty much it. It's the Samoans.
Half of wrestlers right now are just from the same Samoan family.
Yes.
Half of wrestling is Samoan.
They are.
Now, which is awesome.
And it's like, you know what? That's an industry they completely thrive in and they take over.
They own it.
Yeah.
That and rugby, basically.
Yeah.
They just run those sports.
And like college football.
Yeah.
For the Mormon schools.
If you were converted to Mormon, you play at BYU. Speaking of could have been an email, the Grammys.
Yeah.
I don't get, you said it first, but I don't get the whole like performance thing.
People love the performances at the Grammys. The Grammys were like 4 hours.
I don't get why they don't do like, hey, instead of singing your whole song, do the first minute of it.
Yeah. One thing that they did that it was like, okay, I kind of like what they did there was basically all of the artists who were in the category for Best New Artist Award.
Yeah.
They basically all performed in a row, like one song. And so there was like 4 or 5 of them, I forget. But
they all sing their own songs?
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I couldn't figure out how to describe it. They should do that for, just have 4 performances where it's a mashup for all.
I agree. But it was like they all kind of did their own thing. And it was like, I like that because it's like these are the new people. So it's like, let's show them off.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think they should do like 2 performances, like open the show, close the show. And
again, I think it should be these mashup things.
Yeah.
Here's the summary for the year.
I just don't care about and I feel like, I guess I'm in the minority because people love, but then there's so many like iconic Grammy performances. So it's like, I can't like hate on it.
Were they Grammys or were they the VMAs or what? Like
the VMAs honestly is more known for the performances than the Grammys.
Because they'll have the controversial stuff. They'll have Britney making out with Madonna. Mm-hmm. But they won't have like the Grammys. I don't know. It just,
if anything, I'm like, sure, do more awards. Like, I just want, like, tell me. Like, that's why I like the other award shows. Cause it's like, it's for movies, you know? It's like, here's the awards and we just get to find out. It's fun. I want to see who wins.
They have like 3 synonymous awards where it's like Song of the Year, Record of the Year, Pop Song of the Year. And it's like the fact that the same person doesn't win all 3 when like each winner will be nominated for all 3.
Yeah.
It's like if the Oscars had like Film of the Year, Movie of the Year.
Yeah.
It's like,
because I know it's like there's something stupid and technical about it where it's like Record of the Year is actually like the best like sound recording type. Like, but I still
what does that
what does that mean?
What does that mean? Everybody has the same equipment now.
Yeah.
And they record it the same way. I really think it's sort of like a people basically vote for like what is it Song of the Year?
Yeah.
Or single something?
I think it's Song of the Year.
I feel like people vote for the winner on Song of the Year, and then whoever their second place vote is gets Record of the Year.
Yeah.
Because let's be real. It's
Kendrick Lamar won both this year, which was like,
okay.
Yeah.
Man, that's really a statement to Drake.
Yeah.
That's really that's as someone who's barely in the industry, when something like that happens, it's hey, we are letting you know that we all agree you're really difficult and annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like, fuck you.
You know, it's so crazy. But the funny part is, it's like, I guarantee you next year, it'll be like, yeah, Drake's at the Grammys. And like, it'll all be like, all cool and well and whatever. And we'll be back to like Hotline Bling.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the Grammy, I just am kind of over the performances. Mm-hmm. It makes everything move so slow. Because then there's a million commercials. Like, I just show me who wins.
But we didn't have the performances. We wouldn't be able to cut to Taylor Swift being the only one standing, clapping, and just like she like pumps her fist in the air like it's a metal song.
I feel like I'm going crazy.
Yeah.
Where everyone online is like, she's just so supportive. She's this and that. It's like she knows the camera's going to be. She's doing it like either. Like on one end, it's like she's doing it for attention to be like, look at me, like I'm not bitter. I want everyone, even though it's like you keep fucking winning over everyone and like all this stuff. But on the flip side of it, it's like maybe it's the thing of like she knows the camera's on her, and so it's like she has like that weird pressure to be like, I have to be like, yes, I can't make a mean face to anyone winning. Like,
yeah, I get they can't make the mean face. Though.
Yeah, but it's like I feel like she's trying way too hard to be like, oh my god, like when Kendrick Lamar won and they were like, oh, like he's sweeping. And she's like, sweet. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Sit down, girl.
Dude, you're nominated. You lost.
She's making it more about herself by being the only one standing up the entire time.
That's why it's like, I know what you mean, where you're like, maybe she feels like, oh, the cameras will be on her. Okay, maybe they won't be on her if she's not the only one standing up.
Yeah.
You got to cut to the tall bitch standing up.
Yeah, because it's like, I get like, or it's like maybe she has to be a little bit more on, because it's like, obviously she seems like pretty cheesy during like the Chiefs games. It's like, well, but it's like she kind of has to be. And so I'm like that. Genuine. I'm like, yes. I
will say that's one thing that football fans all agree on is when she's there, you can tell she's following.
Absolutely.
She doesn't know when the camera's on her.
No, but it's like she has to be on the whole time in case they are. And so I'm like that. I get the Grammys. I feel like she keeps. It's like it's supposed to be about your other peers, and she just kind of. The more she stands up, the more the cameras are going to keep cutting to her. The more it's taking away attention. The more it's making whoever's moment about her being so supportive. I kind of hate it.
Do you think Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively will be at the Super Bowl in her suite with her?
Apparently, Taylor Swift, word on the street is that she's distancing herself because she's afraid she's going to get named in the lawsuit.
that means...
Which honestly, next week, I'm probably going to like really dive into that. I've been like avoiding...
We've been avoiding it because the topic, the subject matter is so serious.
Yeah.
We've been staying away just in case we're wrong.
Yeah. Because I'm very like, I have a strong opinion on it.
With the same opinion.
With the same opinion on it.
Yeah.
But I'm also fully willing to be like, oh yeah, last week I was wrong. Like new information came out, like, or whatever.
I just don't want, what I don't want, because can I say what general side we're leaning on?
Oh yeah.
So we're on Justin Baldoni's side. This feels...
With all the evidence that is currently presented, of course.
Yeah.
How are you not on his side?
This feels like a smaller man versus an entire industry machine.
Yes.
And
people
he's
who
winning.
got way too cocky, and it's like somehow he's winning. Like,
because it seems like he has the truth on his side. But we don't want to throw our hat in that ring.
Yeah.
If it turns out, because he's basically being accused of like violence, right?
Sexual harassment.
Sexual harassment. We don't want to be backing that guy if we're wrong, but we, for right now, think we're right.
Yeah. But I'm like, next week, honestly, I'm like, I feel comfortable enough with all the evidence that's come out that I'm like, I can say it. And you know what? And if more comes out, I will gladly, when that happens, be like, I was wrong. Like, I'm so open to being wrong. But this is like I'm so into this case. Like, this is the first time I've ever been like, no, I read the 40 pages that were filed originally.
Yeah.
Like, I've never done that before.
You went
like,
line by line.
I literally was reading the suit. I've never done that before.
It really does seem, and again, we'll get more into it next week,
Yeah.
but it really does seem like, feels like people are jumping ship.
Yes.
Like Taylor Swift jumping ship. She's like, oh yeah, we were. And I'm sure everybody's like, honestly, it's like, I didn't realize this when I backed up Blake and Ryan this way. If I had known, I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have done
this. Yeah. Yeah. So like with the Joy Taylor stuff, we kept getting so many comments of people being like, cover this on Sports Gossip.
Yeah.
And I was like,
do you really think we want to put our fucking faces
near? And it's like Sports Gossip is like fun, lighthearted, educational.
Yeah.
That's more of a like, hey, there's like a lawsuit and something shady going on, and we don't know everything.
Yeah.
And there's accusations. It's like, we're not going to be like, okay, sister, so there was some sexual misconduct. It's like, that's not funny or appropriate. We're not going to do that.
No, but I will say this. We're not going to do Joy Taylor because that thing's kind of over already. We'll come back later probably, but the boom is. But challenge accepted. Coming up on Sports Gossip, Aaron Hernandez. Okay. We're gonna talk to Deshaun Watson. We're gonna talk Justin Tucker. That's a new one. Do you see it? I think I was in Disney.
I feel like I saw something about it.
Where it's like, the kicker for the Ravens is also a massage parlor.
Yeah.
Problem.
Keep athletes out of massage parlors 2025.
Yeah. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna start doing some challenging sports gossips.
We'll see. I mean, now that it's like we're coming out of football season, it's like, we'll dig up some sports history stuff. What are some past scandals?
Okay, you ready for sports gossip?
Hit me, sister.
Okay, so today's sports gossip is actually brought to you by CeraVe.
Ooh.
We're going to be talking about, there was just a huge trade in the NBA that I'm sure you've heard about. It was Luka Doncic was traded for Anthony Davis plus some other stuff.
Okay, wait. Anthony Davis. Can we actually talk about him first?
Yes.
Okay. First, before we get into it, can you actually explain to me who is Anthony Davis?
Yeah, so he's what we call a big man. He just got traded from the Lakers to the Mavs. I think he's like 6'10", 6'11". Basically, he plays like center / power forward.
6'10"?
Yes, and he's actually really good at blocking shots. Like that's what he's known for because his wingspan is like 7'6".
You know what they say about long arms.
What?
Good basketball player.
Oh, and then one thing that I think you would actually love about Anthony Davis. Okay, so his nickname is the Brow.
Ooh.
Because he got really big when he was playing for Kentucky. He was the #1 draft pick, but also the whole time while he's playing in college, he has like a very prominent unibrow.
Love it.
Exactly. And everybody's like, okay, well now he's going to the NBA. He's going to shave the unibrow, obviously. He's no longer in college or anything like that. And he was like, no.
Eyebrows on fleek?
Eyebrow on fleek.
You know, as a big brow girly myself, this used to be one, now they're two. I appreciate people who keep it at the one.
You know what? Yeah, he's honestly, I think, the only NBA player that you could call like body pause in that way.
Okay, so wait, ask about Anthony Davis because I actually just saw the weirdest paparazzi pictures of him the other day. He was heading out to his car and he had basically like a bucket or like cooler size thing of CeraVe moisturizing cream.
Like the stuff you have in a shower?
Yeah.
Or is that like the face wash? They make a lot of things.
Yeah, they make a bunch of stuff. They're skincare.
Yeah.
But even weirder was when he actually got to his car, he started putting the cream like on his scalp, like in his hair.
Well, maybe because his skin was like super dry.
But while this was weird, I also saw that Charli D'Amelio was spotted on the street the other day, and she was doing the exact same thing. She was putting the CeraVe cream on her head. So I'm wondering if he was influenced by the influencer herself.
Hashtag influenced.
Okay, but I wanted to know what all the buzz was about because you know me. I'm huge on products. I'm a product junkie. And I feel like this is some trend that I don't know about. So I actually went out and I got a thing of the CeraVe moisturizing cream. I'm actually going to have you try putting it on your head.
Oh, you are? Actually, I really want to. That makes sense. I'm a good guinea pig for this type of stuff. Okay. Am I doing this right?
Yeah, you are. Rub it in, girl. I'm wondering if it's like some sort of dandruff hack or something like that because I've been super desperate when I've had an itchy scalp.
Who isn't? Okay, are you ready for the big sports gossip this week?
Hit me, sister.
We're going to be talking about the most shocking trade in NBA history that just took place this last weekend.
I was going to say, I saw some chatter online about that.
I know, it kind of hit like the regular zeitgeist.
Yeah, if it was on my feed, that means it's everywhere.
Okay, so let me go over like why this trade was so shocking, because it was shocking for a few reasons.
Okay.
Every NBA fan will tell you that this trade was incredibly uneven.
Okay.
Basically, the Mavericks traded a generational superstar, Luka Doncic, for a very good player, Anthony Davis, and a first-round pick. There were some other players involved and stuff, but for the most part, it's like, that's what it was.
Yeah.
This is like if you traded Tom Holland for Andrew Garfield. Like if there were two separate Spider-Man franchises, one was Andrew Garfield, one was Tom Holland. The Mavericks essentially traded Tom Holland for Andrew Garfield and the right to be the first one to cast somebody, I guess. What a first round draft pick would be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, Andrew Garfield is a star, you know? He's recognizable. People love Andrew Garfield. But even in Andrew Garfield's prime, at his peak, he was nowhere near what Tom Holland is like right now.
Yeah.
Not to mention, Spider-Man's like a younger character. You can only play Spider-Man for so long. Andrew Garfield, he probably has some grace.
He's aging out.
He's getting up there. Anthony Davis is in his 30s. He's a big man. They get hurt earlier. They retire earlier. He only has a few more years left. Luka Doncic is in his mid-20s. He's entering his prime right now. There's a chance, like, the Mavericks probably could have had him for the rest of his career. So they basically just said goodbye to a generational superstar for a very good player, a very good Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And that's like the level of uneven it was.
Okay. Yeah. So it's like you have one where it's like he's good. He's great. We all love him. But it's like, he's getting a little older. He only has so many years left.
Yeah.
He can't exactly play high school Spider-Man forever.
No.
But then you have Tom Holland who can kind of keep playing high school for the next however many years.
I mean, does the kid even have to shave?
I don't think so.
I bet he waxes so it doesn't look like it. Like he doesn't have 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah. But then he's just like such a big deal. Everyone loves him. Yeah.
He's on the cover of magazines.
He's a superstar right now.
So actually really quick too, let me just describe Luka Doncic. If you don't follow the NBA, here's a fun NBA update from the last time you probably saw any NBA players. 2 of the best players are these European white guys who kind of look like they could be like buddies with me and are really good at like playing NBA 2K, the video game.
Yeah.
But obviously don't play basketball. One of them is Jokic is by far the best player in the NBA, and that's undisputed. Doncic is either the second or third best player.
Yeah.
They look like they're playing pickup, like they should play on like a pickup basketball team.
Their dad's in the park.
They look like they're playing like a dad's beer league basketball.
Yeah, it's like what Adam Sandler does every week.
They look like they should be playing with Adam Sandler. But no, they're the best players in the NBA. So that was the first reason why it's shocking. The second reason why it's so shocking is trying to come up with like, why did they make this trade in the first place?
Yeah, because it seems to be like something shady.
There's a lot of conspiracies. And let's go through this conspiracy. So, and again, this is all on the Mavericks side because everybody's like, well, I know why the Lakers made the trade. Obviously, you're going to get Luka Doncic. So, number one is the Mavericks are like, maybe they're tired of Luka Doncic. He's, like, I hate to body shame, but he's chubby for an NBA player.
He's softer.
He's got a dad bod.
Yeah, we love dad bods.
And so it's like, oh, maybe he doesn't take his conditioning seriously enough. He always shows up overweight, whatever. But then at the same time, to dispute that, it's like, well, yeah, but he's also been the scoring champ. He's arguably one of the best scorers in NBA history already. He took you to the finals last year with the dad bod. So what's the problem?
Yeah.
What, are we not body pause in Dallas?
I think we should be pretty body pause.
And then they're like, okay, maybe he asked for a trade, which happens all the time in the NBA. He says he didn't though. So it's like, okay. So then we get to like number 3, like the third reason why the third thing that everybody's asking is, why didn't the Mavericks reach out to any other teams?
Yeah, that's why it seems kind of shady. If
Yeah.
They just were like, we're just going to work with the Lakers.
Like the rest of the NBA, when this all happened, was like, you didn't tell us we could possibly try to trade for him.
I didn't know he was on the market.
If he was on the market, we would have made a better offer.
Yeah.
But they didn't. They like just basically the Mavericks GM reached out to the Lakers GM and was like, what do you think about this?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you say, hey, Luka's available? Because a bunch of other teams would be like, we'll give you our entire team and all our future first round picks to have Luka Doncic.
You could literally have anything and everything you want.
So the two GMs are really tight. They're besties.
Okay.
The two of them actually have like a history together all through Kobe Bryant.
Okay.
So one of them was Kobe Bryant's agent for years.
Okay.
And the other one was the like player relations guy for Nike who had a deal with Kobe. So the two of them became really, really tight.
Yeah.
This whole thing kind of seems like one of them was just sort of like shitting the shit. Like, do you want Luka? I'm tired of this fat ass. And the other one was like, I don't like nagged him. Like, I don't know.
Like, I mean, if I have to take him.
If I have to, fine. You know what? I'll do you a favor. I'll take him off your hands.
I will so take him off your hands. Oh my God. But you owe me.
You owe me one.
Okay.
You do, girl. Okay. Now we're in this weird world where it's like, all right, the Lakers, that's the other part too. So here's the other juicy part. Everybody's really sick and tired of the Lakers getting bailed out again. They're always relevant. They always have like a superstar.
Yeah.
Like they went from having Kobe, they didn't have anybody for a year, and then LeBron signs.
Yeah.
You literally go from Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to Magic Johnson to Shaq to Kobe to LeBron to now Luka, where it's like, oh, so you always have the premier basketball player in the league.
Superstar.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's annoying as fuck.
That is annoying.
Especially if you're like not a if you hate the Lakers, it's really annoying.
Yeah.
And I mean, I just feel bad for everybody in Dallas.
Yeah, I know. That's a big loss.
I also feel bad for Anthony Davis in a way because it's like,
I know.
No, he's a top 10 NBA player.
Yeah.
Anthony Davis is legit.
Yeah.
People are being like way too hard on him. We kept on getting tagged in this one video where this girl was like, okay, let me explain the trade. And her comparison was, imagine if One Direction traded Harry Styles for Kevin Jonas from the Jonas Brothers. So like they swapped them.
Yeah.
Not super accurate. I like go off girl. Love the analogy. Pretty close. It's not super accurate.
Okay.
Because you're really undervaluing Anthony Davis. Like I love Kev. I'm team Kev.
I know he shreds.
Okay. I'm bonus Jonas, then Kev, then Joe, then Nick. I root for the underdogs. Like Anthony Davis is like a top 15 basketball player in the NBA.
Yeah.
He can be the front man for a team. Mm-hmm. Kevin Jonas can't really be the front man for a band.
I mean, his sideburns can take him places.
His sideburns could be the front man, but I don't think he could.
Yeah.
Joe Jonas is the more accurate one. He can lead a band, but he can't really go solo. Like,
yeah.
Luka can probably take a team to the finals by himself. Anthony Davis can't.
Okay.
Joe Jonas could probably lead a band to the Grammys by himself. Solo, he probably couldn't.
Yeah.
So that's the more accurate analogy.
Okay, that makes sense. Where it's like Harry Styles, he's big, he's a front man, he's a superstar in his own world.
He's a generational superstar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Harry Styles alone can sell stuff.
Yes.
Anyway, so that was the big trade. There's been a bunch of other big trades, but it's like.
But the fact that this came across my feed means it's like this is the biggest because I've never gotten anything else.
No, this is the most shocking trade in NBA history. Before I'm not being hyperbolic.
Like this is.
I've gone through all of the like other really big ones and nothing even comes close to this.
Yeah.
Because it happened. I mean, I literally called you at 1 a.m.
Yeah, you
guess
did.
What?
This happened.
Guess freaking what? I'm in Orlando and this trade just happened. You're like, okay.
That's nice to hear.
That's nice to hear. And I was like, well, it's like 10 a.m. your time. So
yeah.
Or 10 p.m. your time.
And you know, we've got more sports gossip because it's a big sports week. And this one's going to be brought to you by Sparkling Ice.
And what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be teaching you how you can sparkle in your big game day party conversations. I'm going to be telling you what to say and what not to say so that everyone thinks you really know what you're talking about.
Because some of us don't actually know what we're talking about. We need some pointers to help us fake it till we make it.
Okay, first, don't say, OMG, I just realized that the teams are Christmas colors.
It's so festive.
Christmas was months ago. We're past it. Do say, OMG, can you believe the Giants didn't re-sign Saquon Barkley? Just say that whenever he does something well. And everybody will be like, I know, right?
Is Saquon Barkley on one of the teams?
Yeah, Don't say, so which team does Braxton Berrios play for? The person you're talking to probably be like, who?
But it's Alex Earl's boyfriend.
We don't know who she is. But do say, they really need to ban the tush push. The tush push is a controversial play that every team tries, but only the Eagles can really run. So everybody who roots against the Eagles is like, they got to get rid of this play. But it's just a controversial play.
Okay.
It'll start a fun debate.
And we all love healthy debate.
That's what sports is all about. Healthy debate.
Honestly, I think a good way to fake conversations is just to drop a debate and then not be part of it.
Literally, just at any point, just say, you got to get rid of the tush push. And people will just be like, yeah, okay. Don't say, wait, is Taylor still watching the game? They haven't cut to her in 30 seconds.
But how will we know she's still in the audience?
You'll know. You'll know. But do say, wait, is Mama Kelsey still watching the game? We haven't cut to her in 30 seconds. Yes, they'll probably be next to each other. But in general, everybody just loves moms.
Yeah, moms.
And the last time these teams played, one of her sons was playing on both teams, which was fun.
That's so fun.
Don't say, this whole league is scripted. Because we know. Everyone knows. Don't be redundant.
Sometimes it's more fun just to believe.
Do say, and honestly do it at any time of the game, you can't give Mahomes the ball with that much time left.
Is that a positive or a negative?
It's a positive. He does. There could be 10 seconds left, and if you're down by 7, they'll tie it up.
Oh.
Yeah, you give him 5 minutes, you give him 10 seconds, like he's going to score. Don't say, wow, did you know Jalen Hurts and Kareem Hunt are both Leos? But do say, wow, Spags is unbelievable at disguising coverages.
That's more confusing than astrology. What does that mean?
There's not enough time for me to explain, but just say it. People will be like, right? The final do say is at any point in the game, at any point, could be during the halftime, just say, run the damn ball. Every real football fan will instinctually, not even having heard you, say, damn right, drink sparkling ice.
I'm drinking the fruit punch one today, by the way.
I'm doing the peach nectarine.
This is really breathing some life back into me.
It actually really is, yeah.
So I actually did see some stuff and more the e-news type sphere.
Go.
So obviously they're doing a bunch of press between the Eagles and the Chiefs right now.
Yeah.
Like they're doing all the press conferences. I saw this clip of Travis Kelce. He was being asked by a reporter how he feels about Trump coming to the game.
Ooh, what'd he say?
He said that it was an honor to have any president there. But was Trump not like 2 months ago, Regina George like tweeting or truthing? It was on Truth Social.
Yeah.
Are you speaking your truth? What do you call like a tweet?
I think they say he truthed.
You truthed? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Donald Trump, Regina George truthed in capital letters. I hate Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't like that as much. Actually, I feel like I feel like Travis Kelce could have been a little bit snarkier in that moment to defend his woman.
Well, we've talked about in the past before. I think Taylor Swift's a Trump fan.
I think they are too.
I think she is too.
But I think publicly he needs to play ball a little bit.
Yeah, no, certainly.
I think he needs to be like, he'd be like, well, yeah, he'll be there. That's crazy. Like, I think that would have been the answer.
I'm going to be his, you know what, if he said that, yes, I think that works. I'm going to be his defense attorney right now. That is such a hard question to answer.
Yes.
Because, so I think he actually answered it perfectly and as vaguely as possible, which is like when my favorite baseball team, the Nationals, they won the World Series. A bunch of players were like, fuck yeah, we're going to meet Trump. Woo. And then a bunch of the players were like, I'm not even going. And the answer is, I don't care who's the president, who's the leader. Get a picture. That's great. I'd get a picture with Mussolini.
You know, okay, I've actually had this in my podcast notes forever.
Yeah.
Something that I've always felt like in my soul that actually didn't happen was I always thought at some point I was going to meet O.J. Simpson.
Yeah.
And now he's passed away. So that, not dream, but that weird like feeling I've had has been taken away from me. But I've always thought I'm probably going to run into O.J. Simpson for some reason in my life. And you know what? I might ask for a picture.
Of course you asked for a picture.
Yeah. Like,
babe.
You know what?
Babe, if I saw Charles Manson, I'd ask for a picture.
Yeah.
Look where I was.
Yeah.
I don't know. Actually, I'd be smiling. Look, because he was caught.
Do you know what I would have posted as my caption though? If I had a selfie with O.J. Simpson is
he didn't do it?
No, it would have been like, when your circle's small, but y'all crazy.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good.
But another person did get asked about Trump, Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
They were like, so do you feel like more pressure since Trump is coming? And he just said, no, ma'am.
Yeah, no.
And it was like, yeah, he just moved past it.
Well, of course not, though, too. It's like, that's so funny because, should I be doing sports
No, it's fine. We're just talking.
That's so funny, too, because it's like, yeah, I feel like at that point, like, when the high school player goes to college and you're now on ESPN, that's pressure. Going from college to the pros, there's higher stakes, but you were on ESPN before. Now you have a lot more viewers. That's pressure.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts has already played in the Super Bowl. He's already had hundreds of millions of people watching him at the exact same time.
Yeah.
At that point, I assume the president watched me then.
Yeah. But something else about Jalen Hurts I saw this week that I love, #love about Jalen Hurts. His management team, all women. He is the only NFL player in history to have an all women management team.
That's so funny. I don't know why that's so funny to me because I'm like, so?
But I know, but it's because there's a lot of moving parts with your PR, your management, all the different, your publicists, your this, your that. All of his people managing him are women.
But again, here, I just want to point something out to you. How many male publicists?
A ton.
I don't know any.
A ton.
I feel like every
all the managers, the agents,
yes.
They're all,
No, the agent for sure.
The lawyers, all that shit.
Really? The lawyers too?
Maybe not lawyers, but I'm assuming, I looked at the roster and it was all ton of women.
Yeah.
He has no men on the roster.
That makes sense.
Until it gets to actually
Honestly, it makes sense. His contract is terrible. I'm kidding. You got a really good deal. That's so. Honestly, at first when you were naming things his HR rep, the marketing team, the social media coordinator, just naming all the jobs where it's every company I've worked for, it's there were all women in those jobs.
Okay, whatever. It's National Women's in Sports Day or some shit today, and you're not being a feminist. That you claim to be.
I am a feminist.
I don't think so. Every time I bring up, I'm like, isn't this so cool? You're like, well. So
no, that is so cool. I point out, first of all,
you just immediately shit on it.
No, I was laughing because you were naming his kindergarten teacher.
Because it was his management team. It's not his physical therapist.
I wasn't thinking agent. The fact that he is a female agent is actually a really big deal. That's a really big deal.
He's an all women's team.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So whatever.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
I thought I wanted to talk some sports today. Some sports that I was interested in.
For all men, I apologize. Cool. I apologize. That is really interesting.
You should spend more time apologizing.
I should.
Yeah.
All men should. And as a white man, I'm sorry.
You should be doubly apologizing.
I feel like I've apologized for the past decade.
I don't think you have.
I've been saying sorry every morning like a Canadian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You wake up and you say, I'm so sorry, women.
That's why Trump winning was so funny, because all of a sudden the next day, for the first time ever, we said this one after that election, first time ever, everyone but the white man was being blamed because they were like, well, we're not even counting on them.
Yeah.
I was like, how does it feel, guys? Latinos, apologize.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah.
I liked that post that was like, all men should start off in jail and earn their way out.
Seems like we're getting there. Actually, not anymore. What's your experience with Super Bowl parties?
I like the snacks.
The great snacks.
I like the halftime show. And I like the commercials.
Do you like the commercials as much as you used to?
Not really.
I feel like the Super Bowl commercials, like it used to be like a...
Bangers after bangers.
Yeah, it was like everyone's pulling something out of their ass.
Yeah.
And now they just kind of all follow the same... Mm-hmm. Whatever the big one was from last year, we see everyone try to do that again.
I saw, though, that Carl's Jr., their commercial is going to be Alex Earl. And they're bringing back the Carl's Jr. girls, it looks like. It's like she's basically all sexy and like a bikini eating the burger. It's called like the Hangover burger.
I forget when that commercial was, but that got me going when it happened.
Yeah, and it happened like every year. There was like a new one where they're like, here's the new. And that was always on my like list of like, when I was younger, I was like, I want to be a Carl's Jr. girl so bad. And then they took it away. And I was like, the woke.
Yeah. Damn.
And then they canceled the Victoria's Secret show. And I was like, fine. I mean, I didn't have the measurements for that one anymore. But
who did? Who did? It was like
the point.
It was like what you used to go to the circus for. Speaking of woke, they ruined the circus. I mean, that's the real, let's talk about that. That's the real victim. The circus.
The circus.
You can no longer have little people dressing up like something and doing.
Is that what we're supposed to say now, little people?
If that's not safe, then I'm going back to the M word. Let's be real. We can't keep changing the words all the time. If you do, I'm running out of words.
Yeah. But I usually like the commercials though, just because it's kind of fun all week. Like, because you kind of keep getting the commercials. They're all over social media. It's much more of like an elaborate thing now, which is fun.
It is. But then at the same time too, I actually really enjoy when it's like, okay, crazy commercial. And then they cut to like the one AT&T commercial that they've shown for 6 years straight.
Yes.
You're like, why'd you guys pay $4 million for this same, like, this is, the commercial's white noise at this point.
Wait, remember last year? That's when they like, not launched, because obviously it was around before, but this is when everyone found out about Temu. Because they had 2 commercials during Super Bowl, and it like was just like shop like a millionaire. And everyone was like, what is this commercial? It was like so clearly China made this, obviously.
I love when China makes something like
that. But
it
was like they made whatever janky commercial for the Super Bowl. And that's now everyone's like, well, Temu's a thing. Like that was never on our radar until the Super Bowl commercial.
I don't remember those commercials.
Because it was weird.
Like it was weird.
It wasn't like an actor. It was like it was like an animation. It was almost like those like AI Viagra commercials we see on Fox News now.
Yeah.
Or they're like, come get this off-brand Cialis for blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And it's like, scan this QR code. Like it's like one of those.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
You want? I'm gonna have my prediction right now, or just this is my statement. If you have more than one celebrity, I'm disqualifying you for my favorite commercial list.
Really?
I'm over the like. We got 6 celebrities.
I kind of like it sometimes.
Doing something like sometimes, but now they all do.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, I guarantee you, Rob Lowe's in something.
Definitely.
I guarantee Rob Lowe's in something.
They have
Snoop Dogg's in something. Christopher Walken will be in something. Danny DeVito's owned by Jimmy John's or Jersey Mike's.
Jersey Mike's.
It's Jersey Mike's then.
Yeah.
Like probably the dad for Brian Cox from Succession.
He would do McDonald's.
Kieran Culkin will be in something. Like these sort of character actors where people really like them.
Yeah, there's the Chris and Chris commercial for Meta and Ray-Ban this year where it's Chris Hemsworth, Chris Pratt, and Kris Jenner. That looks fun.
That's fun.
I can't believe I got that sentence out, honestly.
Yeah.
That was pretty flawless. Pat on the back for me. I was able to say Chris, and Chris and name them all off without stuttering.
Kudos to my baby girl.
My brain is reconnecting itself.
Yeah, it's funny because my brain is disconnecting. I might have to say,
I know.
Is this the episode?
I think this is the episode, children's. Thanks for watching. Have a fun time at the Super Bowl, at the big game. And I guess we'll have a debrief next week about it. So
we'll be talking about it next week.
So we'll still be talking about it.
And we're still, I know it'll be past Super Bowl season, or football season, so won't do as well, but we're still going to do the final 2 divisions that we haven't gotten to.
Yes. And we're going to start doing other sports too. So still stay in the pool, bitches.
Yeah. We'll see how baseball does. People just don't care enough. But I'm going to get real in depth with it.
How about we get everyone into baseball? How about you revive baseball?
Honestly,
I think you can do it. You need to just get the girls into baseball.
Let me just say really quickly.
It's like the clubs. If you get the girls on the dance floor, it's a good club.
And it's like we've said though too. It's like, how have the Washington Nationals not reached out to me?
Dude, I know.
I assumed they were going to reach out like years ago and be like, can you just like build our audience?
There's no like celebrity really Washington Nationals fans. You have their logo tattooed on your butt.
Yeah. No, like everyone who's like they're like, oh, this is like, no, they're a congressman. They went to a game. They're not a Nats fan.
You're a Nats fan. So yeah, the Nationals, if anyone knows anyone who works there.
Okay, last thing really quick too. My brother and I, we saw Mike Rizzo, the GM for the Nationals in Disney, and we totally chickened out. All we had to do was say, go Nats. And we were like, and that's the biggest regret of my life. Anyway, towel off, get out of the pool.